Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode. You are tailored for success. I am so excited to dive into this empowering and inspiring topic because it is something that we all need to hear. It doesn't matter who you are, especially in a world that constantly tells us to measure up to someone else's success. Think about that for a minute. Whose success are you trying to measure up to? Let it marinate a little bit. So here's something. You don't have to fit into anyone's vision of success. You don't have to. Liberate yourself. You don't have to fit into anyone's vision of success. You don't have to fit into anyone's mold of success. You don't have to follow anyone else's path. Your path is your path. Your journey is your journey. You are uniquely tailored for your success. You are designed with your own talents, your own authenticity, your own purpose. Your purpose is uniquely your own. And today, I want us to explore how you can embrace that truth so that you can unlock your full potential. So, if you have to grab a cup of coffee or you just want to sit back so that we can get into this, you can do that. And I am going to get a bottle of water because I need some water. So hopefully you are somehow situated. Please get to a place where you can actually sit and listen to what I am going to say. And if you are in the Zani Influence Pearl Club, you can listen to this anytime, so you don't have to listen to it while you're driving, unless if your phone has a holder and you're able to do that. Okay, the wisdom to know yourself is the first thing that I am going to discuss with you today. The wisdom to know yourself. Let's start with the foundation of all success, which is self-awareness. Knowing you, your identity, your true self. When you think about it, you have to say, how can I achieve meaningful success if I don't know who I am? It could be your identity in your tribe. It could be your identity in God, that image of God. It could be your identity as this is much for us is Women's History Month. And so I am cognizant about the time that I am recording this. What is holding you back? to meaningfully embrace your success. I mean, think about it. So often we rush into life doing what we think we are supposed to do, chasing goals that aren't even ours. Like, you can find somebody chasing goals that are not their goals. But do we take the time to look inward and ask ourselves, who am I? Who do what do I really want? What are my unique talents and passions? Who do I really want to become? Think about those questions. Who are you? Ask yourself, who am I? You know, the Greeks said it um, inscripted on a temple, right? Know thyself. Even the Bible also encourages us to examine ourselves. So if you have to examine yourself, you have to ask yourself questions. And the questions you ask yourself are very, very important because it is those questions, when you respond to them, when you answer them, only then can you understand who you are. So it's something that you have to do. It's something that you have to confront. So there is wisdom in knowing yourself. There is wisdom in knowing what is my talent? What am I capable of doing? I won't have the need to conform to someone else if I know who I am. And if I'm comfortable in who I am. Think about this. Understanding who we are is the foundation for living a fulfilled life. Do you want to live a fulfilled life? Then take some time to challenge yourself. Take some time. I want to challenge you right now. Take some time to reflect, to write in a journal, to pray, to meditate. Ask yourself, what makes who I am? What makes me alive? What makes me passionate? What am I interested in? Who do you think that you are? You have to respond to that. And I want to give you a chance to take some time to reflect to that. That's why I told you, you have to sit back, you take a cup of coffee or take some water to drink and interact with yourself. Step outside of yourself. When you do that, you are one step closer to knowing who you are and where you are meant to go. You cannot know what you want to do, what you want to focus on before you understand who you are. So it is important. It's a basic, it's basic wisdom to know yourself. Maybe your question for me is like, Madeline, how did you do that? What I'm asking you to do, to journal, to pray, to meditate, that's what I did. And that's what helped me to find out that I was a creative person, that I was an artist. And once I was able to move into one field of creativity, then all the other fields that I'm gifted in just opened up. But that one thing that I had to crack the code for myself was to know that my talent is to be a creative being. My creativity is off the charts. I create in so many areas, I can't even start to count them. And it's unbelievable when you find your voice, which is your talent, every other thing just opens up. So there is wisdom in knowing yourself. Number two, please, if you need to pause this video, you can pause the video, or if you are just listening to it as audio, pause and journal, or if you want to listen through and then sit back and journal, that's also okay. Number two, authenticity over conformity. Now, let's talk about something that's so important, but so hard in today's world. Authenticity. It's so hard to maintain, to have in today's world. We live in a society that rewards conformity. Think about it, don't we? It's so easy to be a copy of somebody else. So, from a young age, we are taught to follow rules. We are taught to fit in, to act like everyone else. So, if you have a child who is inquisitive, when they ask questions, what do mothers normally do? Fit in, right? So we learn to mimic, we learn to fit in, we learn to be like everyone else. But here's the thing, people who truly succeed in life, they aren't the ones who conform. No, they are not. The people who succeed in this life, they are the ones who dare to be themselves. I appreciate Dr. Brown, who is one of my favorite um, psychologist, researcher, and author. She talks about vulnerability, she talks about authenticity. And here's what she says about authenticity. She says that authenticity is a daily practice of letting go of who we think we are supposed to be and embracing who we are. Let it sip in. Letting go of who we think we are supposed to be and embracing who we are. That's authenticity. Letting go of who you think you're supposed to be. Who has convinced you to be a certain kind of who you are, which is not yourself? Think about it. Who are you conforming to? Is it your role model? Is it a celebrity that you like? What are you conforming to? Is it in your parasocial? Is it your parasocial relationships? Who are you conforming to? Let it marinate. You don't have to. Please embrace who you are. When you embrace who you are, that's 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 the beginning of your freedom. When you embrace your authentic self, that's the beginning of freedom. When you embrace your authentic self, you stop living for other people's approval, and you start living for yourself, for who you are. And when you are living for who you are, when you are living your authentic self in authenticity, in its full measure, if you are a teacher, your students will embrace who you are because of your authenticity. If you are a physician, your patients will trust you because of your authenticity. If you are a leader, people will embrace you for who you are, not for what you are trying to be, but for who you are. When you become authentic, that's when the magic happens. If you are not living in authenticity, you are shortchanging yourself. So tell yourself today, I'm going to stop shortchanging myself. I'm going to stop it. Because conforming into a copy of somebody else is not going to help you. All right, that was our number 2. Authenticity. Choose authenticity over conformity. I'm giving you nuggets today. And it's pretty late for me, so forgive me if my voice is sluggish, but I'm trying to give you some nuggets today. So the third thing I want us to look at is the power of purpose. When you stop being other people or other things that you are not supposed to be, you can then lean into your purpose. So there is power in your purpose. Okay, so we have talked about knowing yourself and owning your authenticity. The next step is to align, is the next step is aligning with your purpose. I like what Oprah Winfrey said another time. I think it was in 2014. She said, there's no greater gift. There's no greater gift you can give or receive than to honor your calling. It's why you were born and how you become most truly alive. Honoring that really helps. Honoring your purpose, your calling, your reason for being. Purpose is the why behind what you do. Your purpose is your reason for being. Your purpose is the essence of your existence. Your purpose is the driving force that gives your life direction and meaning. Your purpose, I want you to demystify this. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or small. Your purpose just has to be your purpose. It has just to be yours, big or small. My mother, when we were growing up, she used to say that you were born with your gifts and your purpose, and your hand was closed like in a fist, right? Unfortunately, you can't stay like this, right? So she used to say, when you opened your hand, the wind blew your purpose. And your goal is to find it. Your goal in your life is to find that purpose. It, these were like lessons when we were kids. It didn't mean a lot. It's like what? But now, and as I was processing it and as I was growing up, that was the thing that made me to ask myself, like, who am I? And that was the thing that made me to discover my creativity because I was searching for my purpose. I really wanted to know it. I really wanted to know that I was moving and I was living and I was existing in my purpose. Now, it takes time to discover your purpose. It's for some people, they discover it early. For some people, it takes them long to discover it. But your goal should always be to find it in your journey of life. Even if you have to find it now when you are 50 something, 60 something, or 70 something, the goal is to find that purpose, live that purpose, and accomplish that purpose. It's it's something that you must commit to. You must invest time into finding your purpose. It's a big investment. Um, when you find that purpose, you will discover that once you find your purpose, You connect your purpose with your voice. And when you find yourself, when you find your voice, you find yourself. When you find your voice, you find a force that is greater than self. When you find your purpose, you become unstoppable and unforgettable. And if your purpose is to create, then be the best creator that has ever graced the face of the earth. If your purpose is to teach, then be the best teacher. And if your purpose is to inspire others, to motivate them, then be the greatest encourager and motivator. And sometimes, even if your purpose is to connect people's destinies, it might look like a small purpose. I will give you an example here. Former President Barack Obama talks of his mom, how she invested in his learning English, learning to write, learning to speak, investing into a son that she just was here to connect with, so that America can have one of our first Black presidents and a good one. Like I'm lacking a word to define him here. But his mother did not live to see his president. His grandmother, I'm taking examples of women here. His grandmother did not live to see his president. But maybe in the greater picture, in the greater scheme of raising President Obama, these two women were there to connect some dots for us. I hope you're getting this. You, you can take so many women. Think of the women that you know. Great connectors, great mothers, great mentors, great voices in your life. And some of them, their purpose was only to position you. Today, I was talking at UC, and one person asked a question and said, so who inspired you? Were there some mentors? My response was like, yes, so many. And I am a sum of all of them. And of course, I gave examples of a few, which I can't do that right now. But I'm saying this to say, if you don't step into your purpose, you are going to frustrate someone's destiny, because our destinies will always cross paths. And if you're supposed to be there for someone's destiny, and then you don't move into your purpose, they can always find somebody else. But why do that when your purpose is to make sure that their purpose succeed, so that your purpose can create the change that you're born for? Find your voice. Find your purpose. Okay, I hope you are still relaxing. I am throwing some stuff here on you. I have 5 things that I'm going to throw on you today. And this is for our monthly meetings. So it was supposed to be a conversation with you all, but I'm recording it because we couldn't have the conversation that we wanted to have. So number 4, unleashing your potential. Now, let's talk about your potential, because your potential is limitless. Unlocking your potential isn't about competing with others. It's about competing with yourself. You tap into your potential when you learn to learn. The person that made me to understand my potential was Dr. Miles Monroe. Dr. Miles Monroe helped me. I was very young, 1993, when I read his book, Understanding Your Potential. If you want to understand your potential, please find that book and read it. It's a book that will really help you to understand your potential. Understanding your potential, it's like unwinding something that is static and you're putting motion into it. So Dr. Carol Dweck, a psychologist who studies motivation, she talks about the power of a growth mindset. The growth mindset is the belief that your abilities can grow through effort and learning. Your abilities can grow through putting in some effort and learning. Your potential, Dr. Miles Monroe, who always say, your potential comes in a seed form. In an orange seed, there's a whole orchard. There's a big orange tree in an orange seed. So understanding your potential helps you to know that if a battery is just laying on the table or on your desk, and you don't put it in your mouth or or in a remote control, that battery's potential will remain unutilized. So your potential, if you don't release it, if you don't unleash it, it remains untapped. And potential untapped, potential unused, it's like having no potential at all because you haven't used it. Your potential is something that you have to develop. Just like we developed ourselves. Nobody is born as a full human being, except robots now. They are created in full human beings. But as of like natural human beings, nobody is born an adult. We learn everything. We learn and do. This voice that I'm using is the same voice that I used to cry on the day that I was born. Now that voice, I have developed it and I'm speaking with that voice. Now, the two little hands grew, and that's what I used to do art. It's the same with your potential. So you have to develop your potential. The best part is you are actually empowered to activate your potential. It's uniquely yours, and you have the responsibility to activate it. So stop comparing yourself with other people. Instead, focus on becoming a little better than you were yesterday. When you understand the full measure of your potential, you understand how you need to grow on a daily basis. Because at the end of the day, your only competitor in accomplishing your purpose, in releasing your potential, and in becoming who you are supposed to be, your only competitor is you. Some of you need to put in your journal and ask yourself, what do I need to do to release my potential? It's there, this power that is in me. And I have full responsibility to release it, to unleash it, to become it, to soar high in my purpose, and to live the full measure of my potential. All right. Now, let's go to the fifth thing. And the fifth thing is grace and resilience. Before we wrap up, I want to talk about something that often gets overlooked in conversations about success. And that thing is grace. I usually put them in the same sentence, grace and favor. the journey to success isn't always easy. There will be failures, there will be setbacks, and sometimes moments of doubt. But what separates those who succeed and those who don't is grace and resilience. Resilience helps you to have stamina. Resilience helps you to have the ability to rise after you fall. So the journey to success is not that you won't fall. You will fall. And sometimes you will fall physically and you will injure yourself. I have fallen and I've injured myself several times, 3 times, major injuries. And now I try to be as careful as I can be because I know how tragic that can be, right? But grace and resilience doesn't mean that you're not going to stumble. It doesn't mean that you're not going to fall. But when you do, you have the ability to rise back up. Um, I think it was Wilma Rudolph who overcame polio. And after overcoming polio, he actually won an Olympic gold medal. And he once said that the triumph can't be had without the struggle. I'll repeat that again. The triumph can't be had without the struggle. There's no victory that you can ever have without a struggle. But in that struggle, there's grace. In that struggle, resilience doesn't mean you won't struggle. It means you will keep going despite the struggle. That's where the fight is. To stay, to keep going despite the struggle. And for grace, it's not just about being kind to others, being gracious to others. It's about being gracious to yourself, being kind to yourself. Give yourself permission to make it, permission to stumble and to bounce back, permission to learn, permission to grow, permission to surpass the struggle, permission to stay, to have grit, and to tell yourself that I am not going to give up. I'm not going to be subdued. Throw whatever you want to throw in my way. I am resilient and I'm not going to give up. Now, in closing, Let me say this. You are enough. You are enough. You don't need to fit into anyone else's mold. You don't need to compare yourself with anyone else. You are tailored for success. You are designed with intention, with purpose, and with a unique set of gifts that will bring you into your greatness. Success doesn't have to look like anyone else. Success just have to look like you, your own success, because you are tailored for success in your own authenticity, unapologetically you. Let it seep in. You are tailored for success. You don't have to conform to anybody. Know yourself. Be yourself. Authentically you. Thank you so much for spending some time today in this episode. If this resonated with you, please share with someone else that needs to hear it. And remember, you are tailored for success. Thank you.